look at the Stage 17 grammar notes briefly before we start this assignment. You can see on the Stage 17 grammar notes in the upper left-hand corner, you have the cases listed here. You have the nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. Remember that the sentence patterns are typically going to be nominative, dative, accusative, and verb. There could be some sentences towards the end of the assessment, and you might want to refer back to that as you're answering them. On the right-hand side, in the upper right-hand corner, you have the genitive case, and this is the form that is used to identify the declension rather than the nominative forms that we had used back in Latin 1. This genitive form that shows possession can be translated with apostrophe s, s apostrophe, or the word of. And you have some examples here that you can kind of read over. I'm going to skip past that. The bottom half of the page has an updated noun chart. You still have your nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. This is the order that you should learn these cases in. They're reverse alphabetical if that makes it easier for you. And these cases have various uses. The uses are referred to as speedo. Your S is for subject, P is possession, I is indirect object, D is direct object, and O is object of a sid-space preposition. Okay, translations have been added beneath the case names. Remember the, a, and an. Whenever it makes sense in English, we can add those. Genitive, the possession. That means ownership, so you have of apostrophe s or s apostrophe. Dative is the to whom or for whom, so we can use to or for. Accusative, the, a, or and ablative is going to be a sid-space prep. Okay, you also have three different declensions of endings here. You have first declension, second declension, and third declension words. You have singular on the right, plural, got that backwards. You have singular on the left, plural on the right for each one. Okay, so this is what we need to look at when we're answering the questions. On the right-hand screen, you see that question number 1 is asking you to match up the case names and uses. And so if you were to click on those, I think that you'll be okay in doing that one. So I'm not going to spend time on question number 1. Question number 2 is when things get a little bit more challenging. It says here, what is the nominative plural of insula? The first thing that you need to do is figure out what family insula is in, what declension insula belongs to. Insula is an AAE word. AAE words fit over here in first declension. We need it to be nominative, so here's your nominative. We're looking for first declension, and we need plural. So this is the ending that we need on insula. INSULAE. Don't use any long marks, don't capitalize. Just spell it as it is. Number 3, what is the accusative singular of rex? Rex is a rex regis word. It belongs to the third declension. This is kind of like the star spelling, and then the second spelling is an IS, and we want accusative singular. Here's third declension, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and we're doing the singular. The root word is reg, R-E-G, and then you're going to use the EM to complete this word. Number 4, we're looking for the genitive plural of animus. Animus animi belongs to which declension? The second one. These are the US I words. And we want genitive plural. Nominative is US. I is genitive, but that's singular, and so we want orum. You do not have to use the long mark. A-N-I-M, O-R-U-M. Anim, orum. Number 5, we're looking for the dative plural of multitudo, multitudinous. This is an O-I-S word, so that belongs to which declension? It is third declension, good. And we're looking for the dative plural, so here's third declension nominative, genitive, dative, plural. So we're looking for I-B-U-S. The root word is a bit of a pain on this word. Root words always come from the second spelling, and you take off the ending. So we're not going to use multitudo, we're going to use multitudinous. And we're going to take off the I-S. So you'll have M-U-L-T-I-T-U-D-I-N, and then come over here and get your dative plural, I-B-U-S. Number 6, we're looking for the ablative singular of canis. C-A-N-I-S is also the genitive spelling of this word. That means it belongs to which declension? Third declension, good. And we're trying to find ablative singular. So we have nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, here's ablative, just one dog with an E. So it's going to be C-A-N is the root word coming from the second spelling, and then put the E on, cane. It looks like cane. Number 7, we're looking for nominative plural of nominative singular of pox. Pox is a what declension word? Third, very good. And so when you go to the third declension, nominative singular, that's the star spelling. The star spelling means the first dictionary listing, so P-A-X is the correct answer. Number 8, we're trying to find the ablative plural of nawis. Nawis is what declension? Third declension again, just like canis was. So third declension, you have nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative at the bottom. We need it to be plural, so that's going to be I-B-U-S. The root word is N-A-V, and then add your I-B-U-S. Number 9, what is the dative singular of populus populi? What declension is that word? Populus belongs to the second declension. It's a U-S-I word. We need it to be dative. So here's your nominative, your genitive, and here's dative. We need it to be singular, so it's letter O, populo, P-O-P-U-L-O. Number 10, we're looking for the genitive singular of ursa. This is an A-A-E word. It belongs to what declension? First. Okay, so first declension. And we want genitive singular. Here's your nominative, here's your genitive. It's just one, so it's going to be A-E. U-R-S is the root word, and then A-E is the ending. Number 11, we're looking for accusative plural of ara, ari. What declension is this A-A-E word? It belongs to the first declension. We want accusative plural. Here's your nominative, genitive, dative, accusative singular. Here's accusative plural. So the root word is A-R. This comes from the second spelling, take off the ending. So A-R, and then we're going to add in the A-S that you had over here for accusative plural. Number 12. What is the dative plural of amicus? This is a U-S-I word. What declension was it? Second is right. We're looking for dative. Nominative, genitive, dative, but it needs to be plural, so we have I-S. A-M-I-C is the root word, and then add in your I-S. Amicis. Number 13, we're trying to find the root word. Root word is going to be the second spelling, take off the ending. So Regina, we can't use this form. We have to go to the Reginae and take off the A-E. R-E-G-I-N is the root word. Number 14, we're trying to find the root word of augmen. We can't use augmen to find the root word. You go to the second spelling, take off the ending. A-G-M-I-N. I-S was the ending. Augmen. Number 15, the root word of litus. You don't use litus to find the root word. That's the star spelling. You go to the second spelling and take off the ending. I-S is the ending, so L-I-T-O-R becomes the root word. Number 16, we're trying to find the root word of equus. You don't use the first spelling. You go to the second spelling, take off the ending. E-Q-U-I has the ending of I. E-Q-U becomes the root word. Number 17, what is the root word of flos? You don't use flos. You go straight to floris and take off the ending. The ending is I-S. So F-L-O-R becomes the root word. Number 18, we're trying to find the root word of unda. Unda is not the form that gives us the root word. The second spelling is undai. A-E is the ending, so U-N-D becomes the root word. Number 19, we're trying to find the root word for lectus. You don't use lectus, you go straight to lecti. The ending is I, so L-E-C-T becomes the root word. Number 20, we're trying to find the root word of iter. Iter does not help us at all. You have to go straight to the second word. The word is itinerus, and you take off the I-S. Make sure you spell this one right. I-T-I-N-E-R. The root word gets really long. Number 21, the root word for hospice. Hospice is the star spelling. That does not give us the root word. We have to jump to the next word. Here you have hospitis. I-S is the ending, so H-O-S-P-I-T becomes the root word. Okay, question number 22 is asking for you to identify the declension. Now, in Latin 1, you could tell by looking at the first word what declension a word was. But now you're learning other forms that are easy to confuse with what you had done in Latin 1. And so it's time for us to learn the correct way of identifying the declension. It's really not the first word, but the second word that shows up in a dictionary list that identifies the declension. So let's go back over here on the left-hand side and look at these genitives. I thought I could highlight them. I guess in a way they are highlighted, right? Okay, so fundi with an I belongs to which declension? Let me go back and see if I can highlight it again. Here we go. We're looking at the second spelling, fundi with an I, and I over here highlighted in blue shows up in second declension. The next one you have is flamma. We don't need flamma, but flammae. The second spelling is AE. Look back over here in the genitive highlights. AE shows up in first declension. The next word you have is imperator. Imperator does not help us. Imperatoris does. The ending is IS. When you look over here in the blue highlight, the IS shows up under third declension. Nomen doesn't tell us the declension. Nominis does. It has the IS ending. IS over here for the genitive means it is third declension. Aqua is the next one. This is an AE word. AE words are first declension. The next is puer. Puer is an I word. Since it's an I word, I's belong to, look on the left-hand side, second declension. Mater is also an ER word like puer, but look at the second spelling, it's genitive. The genitive spelling on this word is IS. IS in the genitive spelling means, over here on the left-hand side, it means third declension. Okay, number 23 is having you identify whether or not a verb takes the dative or the accusative. This is some leftovers from Latin 1, and that may be on your chart. Let me see. Right here it says that they're going to be the Professor Inca verbs. And let's see what I want to say about this. Hold on one second. I'm not calling them Professor Inca in your review material. It doesn't look like. I think that's something that I added for Latin 3. I know it's in here. Okay. So turn in your packet, it's not going to be on the screen, but in your review packet, to review page 4, it has an R4 at the bottom right-hand corner, and about halfway down the page where number 7 is, it says most verbs can take direct objects. What are 4 verbs in Latin which take the dative instead? Okay, so make sure that you're in your grammar packet for Latin 2, and you're on review page 4, R4, and question number 7. Credo, respondio, favio, and placeo are the verbs. Okay. Let me double check and see if there are any that show up in stage 17, because I don't have my vocab out in front of me right now. Okay, in stage 17, there are 2 more words that show up, apropinquo and resisto. Let's go back and look at 16, since that wouldn't have been the review. There are none in stage 16. So your words that you're looking for that take the dative are credo, respondio, favio, placeo, resisto, and apropinquo. Okay, so try to keep that in mind as we're looking at these. We have recipio. Was recipio one of those verbs that I said? No, so then it takes the accusative. Was respondio one of those verbs? Yes, so this one is going to take the dative. Was credo one of those verbs? Yes, so credo takes the dative. Was resisto one of those words? Yes, resisto takes the dative. Ostendo, is it one of those verbs? No, this one takes the accusative. And Prisum has been removed from the list. Prisum does take the dative, but that's not one of the words. So go ahead and put dative for this one. Okay, let's look at question number 24. A wife supports her husband. Uxor blank fawet. As soon as you see that F-A-V-E-T word, that is one of those words that take the dative. That means that husband up here has to be in the dative. If husband is in the dative, you have to figure out what declension and then put an ending on it. Okay, so what I had highlighted before is not going to work. Let me mark where the datives are. The datives are over here on the left-hand side. So they're the ones that are in the blue now. We're not identifying declension. We are finding the root words. Instead, what we're doing is trying to decide if you need accusative or dative. So husband is maritus mariti. Maritus is a second declension noun. We need it to be dative. It's only one husband. So M-A-R-I-T is the root word, and then you'll add letter O. Let's look at question number 25. Quintus approaches his friends. Okay, friends is going to be either accusative or dative, depending on the verb. Apropinquo is one of the verbs from stage 17 that take the dative. So that means that friends, plural, has to be dative. Friend is amicus. It's a U.S.I word. This I means that it is second declension. We need it to be dative, and we need it to be plural. A-M-I-C-I-S. Number 26. Lucia was responding to her father. Respond is one of the words that take the dative. It's just one father. Pater, patris is a third declension noun. So over here in third declension, we're looking for a dative. You have the I ending. The root word is P-A-T-R, because you take off the I-S, and then you'll add the I to the end of it. P-A-T-R-I. Number 27. The young man does not trust the girls. Trust, credit, is one of the words that takes the dative. Since it takes the dative, girls have to be in the dative case. They will be dative plural. It's more than one girl. The word for girl, A-E, is first declension. So come over here to first declension. We need to go down to the dative. We need the plural. So that puts you at I-S. P-U-E-L-L is the root word, I-S. Number 28. Match these adjectives that are often found in impersonal constructions with what they mean. These are the ones that are, it is easy, it is difficult, it is better, it is proper, it is necessary, those kinds of things. So melior is going to be better, facile is easy, commodum is convenient, necesse necessary, decorum proper, and difficile is difficult. The next part, which preposition, does the preposition require the accusative or the ablative? This right here is a Sid space thing. And Sid space is not showing up in full form over here on the bottom left-hand corner. Instead, you may have to refer back to your grammar packet. And these, should have marked them. Let's see. These will be found on review page 2, where the definitions are for Sid space, and they probably are somewhere else in here. They're mentioned on page R6 also in number 7. Okay, I'm going to use R2 for that, where it has the word Sid space. Okay, so if DE is a part of Sid space, then it means that you will use the ablative. If DE is not part of Sid space, that means that you will use the accusative. So let's talk about Sid space real quick. The S in Sid space is for sub. The I in Sid space is in when it means in. DE is the D word in Sid space, down from about. The S for space is sine. The P in space is pro. The A or AB is for the A. CUM is for the C. And E or EX is for the E of Sid space. So if you have sub, in, de, sine, pro, A, ab, cum, E, or EX, then you use ablative. Okay, so AD was not one of them, so this should be accusative. So go through and I'll let you identify those. Number 30. Let's type the prepositional phrase. You need the preposition and the noun. And then it tells you that if you need a long mark over it, to hold down the vowel key to select it. And you'll only use this for the singular ablatives. We're not going to make the long marks on the IS. So let's have the word aula, A-U-L-A, in the palace. In the palace, we'll take the ablative. So over here I'm going to mark my ablatives. It's an AAE word. That means its first declension is just one palace because it's singular here. So that means you'll have IN for your preposition that goes here in the box, IN, one space, and then AUL, and here's your ending, A. And just when you push down on the A, hold it, and then you'll get a whole bar coming across. Make sure you get the one that has the long mark. Maybe I should show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm holding down the A, and then this pops up. It looks like that it is the grayed out number 8, and there it is. Okay, number 31. Type the prepositional phrase for around the palace. The word that means around is kirkum, like that. We're going to use one space, and then palace. A-U-L is the root word. Is kirkum one of the sit spaces? No, that means it uses accusative. So over here on the left-hand side, let me highlight the accusatives. Palace is a first declension word. It's an AE word, so you have to use these. And then it's just one palace, so we need the ending AM. We're not going to use any long marks, just add in your AM. Let's move down to number 32. Away from the palace. Away from is either A or AB. I want to put AB, and then palace is A-U-L, as the root word. Does AB take the accusative or the ablative? Ab is part of the ablative. So I'm going to highlight the ablative ones over on the left-hand side. And it's just one palace, so we need the singular. Palace is a first declension noun. So you're here in this first column going down, and that means you need a long mark. So put your A long mark there. Number 33, near the palace. The word for near is prope, and then the word for palace starts with A-U-L. You need to add an ending. Does prope take the accusative or the ablative? Prope takes accusative. It is not part of sid space. Okay, and palace is still first declension. It's just one palace, so we need the accusative singular AM. Number 34, into the palace. When you have the word into, that is when you use the word in, type, but you do not use the ablative. When in is translated into, you use the accusative. So palace is still going to have A-U-L as the root word, and it's just one palace, so we're still in first declension. You have your AM ending that you'll add after this. Number 35, about the palaces. Down from about concerning in Latin is the word de, one space. Palace now has an S at the end of it. That makes it plural. A-U-L is still the root word, is still first declension, and D-E does not take accusative. D-E takes the ablative. That's the D in sid space. So you can't use a long mark. That would be one palace. You have to use the I-S. We're not going to worry about the long mark. Let's just do it like it is here. Number 36, without palaces. Without palaces. The Latin word for without is sine. And palace is still A-U-L as a root word. Does sine take the accusative or the ablative? It takes the ablative. This is a part of sid space. It's more than one palace, first declension, so you need the I-S ending. Right, number 37, you have the word through. Through is pair, and you may have in your vocab review a list of all these prepositions. Hold on, let me tell you what page that is. Okay, so this is the vocab. You can find the list of prepositions on the page that starts with, in your vocab section, all other words up to stage 15. Some could have come from 16 and 17. Prepositions are at the very top. Okay, so through is P-E-R, then A-U-L is the root word. Pair, P-E-R, is not a participle space. That means you need accusative. And palace is still first declension. Palaces, a whole bunch of them, plural. A-S will be your ending. Number 38 is translation. 39, translation. And 40 is translation. Okay. Let me know if you're still having trouble with these. You're not ready to do anything like this on a test yet. We're still in the trying to become familiar with how to use the charts and getting them lodged in your brain. Okay, that's it.